Let me tell you something ridiculous. The truth is the easiest thing to see in the world, which is exactly why everyone misses it. See, the mind loves puzzles. It loves techniques, altars, postures, methods, and those are fine. But sometimes you have to go beyond all of that stuff. The ego wants fireworks, but truth gives you silence. The ego wants to rise. The truth tells it to vanish. The ego wants the Himalayas, Arunachala. Truth hands you a mirror wherever you are. And looking at that silent, empty mirror, you awaken. And the mind says, it can't be this simple. This is too simple, too plain, too quiet. So the mind keeps trying to add glitter to the truth. And then it complains that it cannot find it. Now, if your mind says, but if this is too simple, why don't I get it? Why am I not getting it? Well, that's the mind talking again. It wants the truth. It wants it to be very complex so that it can have something to grasp, something to do. But now we are focused on something simple. Surrender, letting go, vanishing. The ego is terrified of simplicity because simplicity does not give the ego a role. It doesn't give it a job. Surrender doesn't pay the ego's salary, and the mind can never get it. It is way beyond the mind. The mind is just a thought happening, a flickering stream of memory, image, fantasy, held together by habit and narrative glue. It takes all these fragments and attempts to create a cohesive whole through an ongoing story narrative. It's not real. The thing looking for the truth is a thing that must dissolve for the truth to be seen. You don't need a new experience. You need to stop misidentifying with the one who's having them, the one who feels separate, incomplete, unfulfilled. For example, imagine someone searching their whole house for their glasses while wearing them. They check the drawers, they check the couch, they check the bed, they even check the freezer. Nothing. And they get quite frustrated. Maybe they even pray, but they just can't find the glasses. Then one day someone points, the glasses you're searching for, you're wearing them. The person doesn't find the glasses, they notice that they were never without them. And this is the nature of genuine recognition, not adding anything, but discovering what has always been here. It's not earned, it's not given, it's not won, it is remembered, recognized, realized. But this genuine remembering requires one thing, that you also stop doing and just see clearly this current experience, this beingness, this isness right now. Not to do anything with it, just to see it, just to stay with it. And then what happens? Something drops, something vanishes. The seeker. At this stage, the more you show up, the more silence hides itself. But the moment you vanish, there it is, effortlessly present. Imagine trying to fall asleep by concentrating really hard. The more effort you put into trying to fall asleep, the more you stay awake. It doesn't work. And truth is the same. It is recognized when effort drops away. Yes, effort is needed to kickstart the whole thing, but then eventually we reach a stage, a point. You cross a threshold where the effort has to be dropped. And you must shift into effortlessness, into non-doing, into surrender. That's why the mind will never get it, because the mind is a collector, and the truth is not something to collect. It's like the space where collecting stops. Tenali Rama once wandered into the mountains, He loved taking photos, and he wanted to capture the sky to show everyone back home how beautiful that sky in the mountains, how vast, how endless, how majestic it was. But every time he tried to take a photo, he looked at the frame and he felt like something was missing. The picture was there, yes, but the sky wasn't. And the mind is like Tenali Rama, like a tourist, always taking photos. Truth is like the sky. It refuses to be captured. It cannot be confined to a limited mind. Its vastness, it's too vast to fit in the limited frame of the mind. Kanali Rama, you can try to take a photo of the sky and then get convinced that here's now the sky. But no, it's not the real thing. The camera didn't capture the sky's vastness, its endlessness, its living silence, its boundless presence. So yes, anyone can try to take a picture of the sky. Tenali Rama could try, and they could argue that this is the sky. But that's exactly how the mind fools itself, confusing a concept with reality, confusing an image with the infinite. You can only be it. You can only live it. You cannot capture it. You say you want the truth, but would you still want it if it cost you everything that you call you? What if your surrender brought you no wings, but only groundlessness? Most seek the kind of awakening they can survive, something to write about, something to wear, something that leaves the ego slightly altered, but still in charge. But truth has no interest in your comfort. It burns clean, real clean. It leaves no one behind to report what happened. You will never arrive. You'll just stop pretending to be elsewhere. Elsewhere, other than here. So yes, it is simple, but not easy. Simple because it is here. It is already here. Not easy because you keep looking elsewhere. Simple because it demands nothing. Not easy because you keep offering it everything but your surrender. The very simplicity of truth becomes its perfect disguise. And now, here we are. No technique, just surrender. No method, just surrender. No photo, just surrender. Just the endless sky. And how majestic is the sky. Endless, untouchable, divine, yet reflected in every puddle. Humans chase peaks, summits, sacred heights, almost believing truth lives up there, above the noise, in those heavens, forgetting that the true peak, the true sky, the true heaven was never above. It is within. You don't really need to stretch toward heaven. Heaven is in you. So stay here. And thank you for being with me today.